Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode.
I'm Brock,
I'm Brent. Welcome to 2PC Chat.
where we talk about Star Wars, Marvel, and everything else.
Yo, yo.
What's going on, everybody?
Long time no see.
Yep, we're here for part 6 of Ahsoka.
Yes, very, very exciting episode this week. By far, probably my favorite episode of the series so far. Even though we had Anakin in the last episode, right? And everybody loves Anakin, and I love Anakin. I felt like episode 6 is probably my favorite so far.
Yeah. Dude, I'm amazed that we were able to even just continue to top the last episode.
Right. It just gets better and better.
After last week, I was like, okay, we kind of know that this next episode's kind of be, a little slower pace. We're not going to get as much, But then Filoni turns around and is just like, nope. Here's even more greatness for you,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing amazing with this series, and every episode that comes out, I'm amazed at how he just keeps making the story better.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, he's very talented, right? He has the Star Wars fans at heart there, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he's making this, and obviously he learned from the best. Yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, let's dive into this episode. I think it was really well done from start to finish, right? I mean, we get to the new galaxy right away.
Yeah, there's no hesitation there.
Yeah, it's like we're there. Boom, here we are. I wanted to talk to you first about when the opening scene, right? So when we get to this new galaxy, we see the Purgle wasteland essentially, right? So he's like, this is where they come to die. I just think that was very interesting, right? Because obviously the Purgles have at least traveled back and forth several times between these galaxies. So it's quite possible we may have some other entities from this galaxy in the current Star Wars universe, and vice versa.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Tagging along to while they're in transit,
Yeah.
I did see a little theory going around on TikTok and Instagram that when Grogu sees the Purgle going through hyperspace.
Oh yeah, you think that was
that Grogu sensed that Ahsoka was in there type thing, and I don't know.
It's possible, yeah. Because that's a great theory actually. Wow.
I mean, because
very plausible. Because Ahsoka has met Grogu before, and they trained together before, so it's very plausible. Wow. Yeah, didn't hit that one. That's a great catch.
I know. I saw that and I was like, I really like that actually. As he may have just seen a Purgle, still awesome. Or if Ahsoka was in it, and that was the one Grogu saw, that would be even cooler.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that'd be really cool.
But
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, no hesitation getting to that new planet. I loved Hu Yang, kind of cracking jokes, traveling through space in a whale's mouth,
Yeah.
Never done that before.
No, that was really cool too. And I think, going back to episode 5 and in the beginning of episode 6, when you see Ahsoka and Hu Yang traveling, right? And you get, the tension there, right? Because Hu Yang's like, so do you want to talk about it? And she's like, no. Yeah. Let's hear one of your other stories, right? So she's still kind of not wanting to talk about the whole Anakin thing, but it was cool. The Hu Yang is a long time ago in the galaxy.
Yep. I loved that they threw that in there, dude. It was just and the way he started it too, it was just such a storyteller, it was just
exactly.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, that was super cool.
I was like, that's amazing that they did that. That's just that was that perfect hat tip,
Yep.
Nod to all Star Wars.
All Star Wars, yeah. No, that was great.
Yeah.
I think so when we get to this, when we arrive, right, when we have Balin and
Shin.
Shen, yes, Haiti.
Is
They
it? Yeah. Shin Hati.
Hottie. Everybody calls her Hottie. So
Shin, yeah, Shin Batty.
yeah. But yeah, so when they get there, like we see the Night Sisters right away, right? The Dathomir
Yeah, that
Night
was.
Sisters. Their ancestors are from this galaxy, supposedly.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Yeah,
So
seeing
that
those
that means,
statues, dude.
yeah, I mean that was really cool, and so that means like Darth Maul's ancestors come from this other galaxy,
Yeah.
essentially,
Yeah. No, I love
which is just
seeing that.
really cool.
Yeah, I love seeing like, I mean, during the watch party when I was doing that, I mentioned I was like, like they all looked like Mother Talzin from Clone
Yeah,
Wars, you
exactly.
know,
Yeah,
and
they're like
that's
legit Night Sisters. Yeah.
exactly, and that's essentially what Mother Talzin was, and I don't know, just seeing them back on this planet, all the Night
Mhm.
Sisters are gone now, pretty much. We have
Yeah, yeah.
stragglers here and there, but I don't know.
Well, even like Morgan Elsbeth, right? Like
Yeah,
she's probably the closest thing we have to a Night Sister, like in like current Star Wars, right? But to see like that we've seen so far since Clone Wars, right?
um, we have the Night Sister from like Jedi Fallen Order, and
Oh,
Survivor.
in the game, yeah,
Yeah,
I forgot.
but I think they're the only two that we really know about.
Right. Um, but yeah, so just seeing like actual Night Sisters like in live action was really cool
Hmm.
to see. They did a great job with like the makeup and the appearance and even the voices, like they legit eerie. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
they did a great job with that too.
yeah. They nailed that 100%. So as they're up on the spire thing, the temple,
Yeah,
you got this big old star destroyer coming in.
yeah,
Right. I mean, again, immediately, no waiting around for this story.
yeah. No.
Um, and it's all destroyed. In certain parts from when.
Yeah, I mean, Rebels, right?
Yeah.
So when the Purgles like attached to the destroyer and took it into hyperspace.
Yeah. No, it was amazing seeing that. But the second I saw that star destroyer, I was like, no way! Like we're gonna
Yeah,
we're gonna we're gonna see
right.
him right away. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. No, it was great. But before we get into Thrawn, right? I want to talk about so when the Night Sisters see Sabine,
Oh
right?
yeah.
They say she reeks of Jedi. What are your thoughts on that? Um, Given that, I mean, technically, is Sabine a Jedi? I don't know yet.
Maybe it's because I mean, she I don't know. Maybe has like the same heart and mind type thing, or tries to have that same
Maybe.
connection as a Jedi
Sure.
type thing. Because I mean, or maybe just being around Ahsoka.
Yeah,
You
maybe. Yeah,
know,
that too.
like when you hug and love a wet dog,
Yeah.
and you go to the next room and someone
You
says,
get the scent.
yeah, you
Yeah.
smell like wet dog."
Yeah. No, I think if there was one negative thing about this episode, it was that for me.
Okay.
And it wasn't even that bad. It's just like I don't really see Sabine as a Jedi yet, right?
No.
Like maybe she's a Padawan, maybe she's not. I don't think she's very much an apprentice yet. I think if anything, she's a Padawan.
Oh, yeah.
I know she carries the lightsaber around, but I don't consider her a Jedi yet.
Yeah.
And maybe by the end of the show I will, but for now I don't. I see her as a Mandalorian.
Yeah, no, 100%, dude. I mean, like Ahsoka was saying, that's where she got most of her fighting skills was from being a Mandalorian.
Right. Yeah.
In that episode 2.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, I love that she keeps trying to use the Force.
Right. Yeah.
The second that wall started shaking and stuff, I'm like, no, come on. And then I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
oh, wait, it's just something
Yeah.
outside. Okay.
Yeah. The destroyer came. So yeah, let's dive into the great Grand Admiral.
Dude.
What were your thoughts of like well, to be honest, like the whole sequence of his arrival was fantastic, right? Between the Star Destroyer, the army of stormtroopers, Enoch, the right hand man, stormtrooper looking guy,
Yeah.
for Thrawn, and then Thrawn himself.
Yeah. So initially you see just like all the stormtroopers, right?
Mm.
In the bay. As you kind of get close up to them, you see that they're wrapped in red, they're dirty, they're
Right.
beaten up. So that if Filoni's doing this, which it wouldn't surprise me if he does it, he loves to pull things from Legends.
Yeah, yeah,
The what are they called? Just like the zombie stormtroopers.
yeah.
That has been a thing in Legends for a long time. And their armor resembled what like these comics and books and all that stuff.
Right, yeah.
Like you take off the mask, there's a zombie in there, and it's very plausible because
It
of the
is. Yeah,
Nightsisters.
exactly. Yeah, and I know. So like at the end of the episode, we hear Thrawn mention like, "I'm gonna need to call on your dark magic one more time." So it alludes to him using it again, and
Yeah.
maybe he used that magic to build up an army of stormtroopers, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, very very possible theory for sure.
Well, and they were like moving caskets, weren't they?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was one thing I was unclear of, right? So I know they're transporting something for the Night Sisters because they need that was like part of their agreement, like they needed to transport something for them.
Yeah.
But they don't necessarily clarify what it was.
I bet you it's, we saw in the Clone Wars them resurrecting the Night Sister,
Yeah,
uh, you know, corpses to fight for them,
sure.
essentially. So I'm wondering if it's that, like
Could be. Yeah.
they show up to this planet and got all these corpses to essentially fight for them if they need be.
Right.
So
Well, I mean that's their homeworld too, so I
yeah.
mean it's very possible.
Do you think they'll end up going back to Dathomir, where like it's
That would be fantastic.
yeah.
Um, I think it would be cool if they. I don't know, so no, never mind. I was gonna say maybe it'd be cool if they pulled in a Maul cameo, but I don't think I think he's already dead by now.
Yeah,
With
I believe
Oberyn on
so.
Tatooine, yeah, because
Yeah.
he died in Rebels.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean it'd still be cool. Dathomir's cool, just the history there and
Oh yeah. I
I'm
mean
sure the
that's where
cinematography there would be cool. So
yeah, again, that's where the other half of their ancestry is at. It's
yeah, exactly.
they got this galaxy here, and then you got in this galaxy Dathomir here. So
Yeah.
if they're just going one place to another, um, I don't know if this is jumping ahead. Not really, I don't think. But what do you think this higher power is that Balin's talking about?
Right. Yeah. So we see different side of Balin's Skull in this episode, right? We see a more Jedi like Balin versus a more Sith like Balin in this episode, and I think Thrawn can kind of sense it too, right?
Oh yeah.
In the past, like he was part of the Order, and we didn't hear much about the fall of the Jedi, right? Outside of this episode,
Hmm.
so it was cool that Balin kind of touched on it with Shin and kind of told her like, hey, it was good, but there was flaws,
Yeah.
and he's seeking something that is beyond Jedi and Sith,
Yeah.
which could be this higher power. And I know a couple episodes ago you had your theory, and I think that very much could be possible, especially with the fact that you said that like Filoni likes to pull in legends. So
Hmm.
I think my money's on that, right? I
Yeah.
think that's very, very possible.
So this theory that Brock's mentioning is essentially the Rakata. The Rakata are this higher power. They used to be conquerors. They know the Force and they know hyperspace travel. Um, I mean, it ties back into Legends with like the Jedi and all that stuff. And uh, So I'm thinking that this is like where they are actually from, and yeah, that's the higher power that Balin's seeking essentially. So if it is them, you know, they are super powerful race, which they would have to be to scare off the Nightsisters, honestly. Um, for them to just be like, all right, we should probably get out of here, you know. So I'm hoping that's where this takes us. Yeah, dude, that's the only thing I can think of really, unless it's something, unless they're talking about like just Ezra, you know, this.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't think they're talking about Ezra though, right? Because he knows kind of who Ezra is, and he's got the idea of like who Ezra is, and I think yeah, it'll be interesting because like the last part we see Balin and Shin, they meet these like bandits, so to speak, on the planet. And he's like, the enemy of our enemy is our friend for now.
Yeah.
So maybe they question them, and maybe they those bandits or whatever take them to the Rakata or take them to whoever that maybe that's who Balin's seeking.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. I've seen tons of theories out there so far that in the next episode we're gonna see the four of them. So Ezra, Sabine, Balin, and Shin team up to leave, right? And obviously throw Ahsoka in the mix too. But I think it's very much Thrawn is under the impression like, hey, we're just gonna peace out. We don't need all these four
Oh yeah.
Jedi people, right? Like we don't need them.
Yeah,
We're
that's
just
what he
gonna-
was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like great if they kill them. If not, they're all expendable. So
Easy.
I think it'll be. I think for them to all leave, I think that's what's going to happen. Is they're going to team up in some way.
Okay. Okay, so when we... Okay, I just got to mention the cute little snail crab things.
Oh yeah,
Getting adorable.
Yeah.
Got the little
I've seen
rebel
a
symbol.
lot of memes. I've seen a lot of memes of those little guys, and they're like, Ezra just took a vacation to learn from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, yeah, that's funny.
That's awesome. But yeah, so Sabine's traveling, she comes across these people, survives, finds the little turtle shell people, rocks. I love the little bat dog thing.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Just personality with that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was joking around. I was like, that's how my wife is with my dog, you know. She's like, get back there.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So coming up to that village, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you think you were gonna see Ezra right then and there?
I wasn't sure, right? Like obviously the hope was there, but I wasn't gonna be disappointed if I didn't see him.
Yeah.
I was thinking that at least we'd get some sort of clue as to like where he went from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fantastic to see Ezra. They did a great job of like picking one the character,
Mm-hmm.
and then two the appearance with like the facial hair and everything. Like it looks very similar to what we saw in Rebels.
Yeah. No, it's been amazing. Again, it's like there's no waiting around for this story to develop, you know.
Yeah.
They give us Thrawn and Ezra same episode, and we have 2 episodes left, you know.
Exactly. So I'm glad that they did it, right? Because
Yeah.
they very well could have just drug it out another episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad they gave us this because now we get to see everybody in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm assuming they're going to do some sort of season 2. They almost have to at this point because I don't think there's no way they're going to have enough runway between the next 2 episodes to close the story, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely anticipating a season 2, and very much looking forward to the next 2 episodes.
Oh yeah, 100%. Going to Ezra and Sabine's interaction. I don't know what about it, but something was off to me.
Oh yeah, well, you know, he's like, oh, I can't wait to get home.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, we're not going home. Like, our ride's about to leave, and we're gonna be stuck here.
I don't know, dude. Like, I feel like he's just like, like I said, he's excited to see her. He's excited to like go home, you know. But I got this feeling that he is not the same Ezra Bridger that we knew in Rebels. Like, yeah, he's a nomad hippie with these turtle shell guys,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he is feeding this dark side energy type thing.
It's possible.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
hoping.
I mean, yeah, I mean he's been there for however long.
Yeah.
With dark magic filled on that whole planet, so I mean it's possible he's been compromised to some degree.
Yeah.
I think I think a lot of that weird interaction was one like Sabine's guilt that she like left Ahsoka and everybody and went with the bad guys essentially
Yeah.
and let Thrawn escape from this galaxy just to get Ezra, and the possibility that they might not even be able to leave is it's kind of eating at her inside.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, he
we'll
was like,
see.
it worked, right? It worked.
Yeah,
You know,
I
she's
mean
like,
it worked. Yeah,
it worked, yeah.
Yeah.
Until I did this, and he might come back, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's what's going through her head during that sequence, and that's why she was like, I just want to be happy. Like I don't want to talk about anything. So
Yeah. No, I thought it was a little weird, but I mean,
but yeah, I mean
it was
it's possible.
It was
but,
written
I
to
mean,
be like make me feel kind of like, ooh, what's
Yeah.
there's some I don't know, like it was written amazing. Their interaction.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I think like at the end of the episode there when we get the Night Sisters like, oh, we sense someone else is coming, Jedi,
Hmm.
and Thrawn's like, let's assume that Ahsoka's alive, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean he knows better than to underestimate Jedi.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's interesting to see that, and then how they're going to prepare for this maybe upcoming battle that they have, and like as I mentioned before, like he's asking the Night Sisters for their dark magic again. So what is he going to do? How is he going to use it?
Yeah.
Then how obviously is Sabine, Ahsoka, and Ezra going to either one escape with them or get stranded and then have to find a way back, or I don't know where it's gonna go.
Me neither, dude. I think I don't know. I mean, I've told you the whole Filoniverse theory that they're just gonna stay in that galaxy and it's gonna be a whole separate Star Wars timeline, Star Wars universe, to where he can do his thing and Disney can do their thing, and whether they stay there or not, I think. No, dude, I'm excited. Literally, this show has gotten me so excited for next week. Like,
Oh, exactly. I'm literally like that every week.
Yeah.
I ended up watching episode 5 again before watching episode 6 just because it was so good. I'll probably do the same thing again next week and watch episode 6 again before 7. But
oh yeah.
I know, yeah, like I said, episode 5 was great. Anakin's great, but this episode was by far my favorite so far.
Oh yeah. I mean, these last 2 episodes are just gonna be bangers.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
Yeah. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but it's just gonna be amazing.
With that, I don't know exactly though, because Filoni's not on the next 2 episodes. I don't think.
Uh-huh.
I don't think he directed them, so we'll see what we get. I'm sure. I mean, he set the runway up with the last couple episodes,
Yeah.
so I don't think it's going to fail by any means, but I don't know if it's going to be as good as a Filoni directed episode. But
No, I
I'm
mean,
hopeful.
granted, he's still there, directing it, like
Oh, exactly.
whole-
yeah.
the whole show.
Just
type
didn't,
thing.
he just didn't write the episode, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I don't think he would let his baby just fall apart
yeah,
like that.
no,
The last 2.
yeah, he's probably had oversight the whole time.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
yeah, and I think Disney's starting to realize that they're making a ton of money off of Filoni,
Good.
so they are going to keep him around for Star Wars.
They need
That would
to.
know.
They need to say, here's Star Wars. Here you go.
Yeah.
Like you write whatever stories you want to write about Star Wars, and we'll pay you.
Yeah.
you know. that's, I don't know, for them to not realize that. I mean, maybe they did realize this, you know, that's why they wanted to get him into the Mandalorian live action, you know, get some experience that way. Maybe they did realize it, but this man has worked hand in hand with George Lucas on everything Star Wars throughout the Clone Wars, you know, Rebels, like his thoughts and feelings, how George Lucas thinks. Filoni is the next greatest thing to George Lucas that we will get, you know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And he's just a Star Wars fan too.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's a big
I think
part
that's
of
the
it.
best part, right? Like he enjoys what he's putting out there, and I think that's what makes it easy for him, because he cares about it as from a fan perspective.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. See, you got anything else that you want to throw in?
I think I'm good, man. It was great catching up, and
Yeah, for sure.
like I said, it was a great episode to talk about. Can't wait for next week.
I know, I can't wait either. Or it can't go by fast enough, honestly.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch like the whole series in between now and then again. Just
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, I think before, because I don't think Star Wars is coming out with another show for like a good while. I know we were supposed to get the Skeleton Crew and Acolyte at some point, hopefully before the end of the year. But if not, I'm low key gonna watch either Ahsoka again or Obi-Wan, or I might even dabble in the Clone Wars again, to be honest.
Yeah, really. I've been trying to get my my wife to watch Rebels because she loves Ahsoka. She really does. Like even like the last episode of Clone Wars, she loved it. Didn't watch anything else, you know, but she always called it Ahsoka Toa.
Nice.
You know, just but yeah, anything Ahsoka she loves, and so I'm like, babe, you need to watch
good,
Rebels. Like, it's good.
Rebels is fantastic.
Yeah. But yeah, I think on that note, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it a stream. Yeah. I do watch parties also every Tuesday, 8 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So if you're willing to wait a little hour after the release time, feel free to hop in, watch the show. We had a pretty good turnout this last Tuesdays. I had like 7 people in there watching, so
that was great.
Yeah, it was a really good time chatting with people during and
maybe next time too we can do a like a live podcast, live action breakdown thing afterwards too.
Yeah. No, I'm down.
Pretty cool.
I'm down to do that. Yeah, do that with last 2 episodes. Honestly, that'd be good.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right on. Alrighty, we'll catch y'all later. Check out the socials.
Yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button for sure, and then comment. And if you haven't already, smash that subscription.
That notification bell.
Cool.
Right on. Well, catch y'all later. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Peace.